Hey guys, this is Azralynn with a quick preview of Battleborn. Battleborn is both an action FPS MOBA and a PvE single-player or co-op story campaign. I played the open beta for over 10 hours, and the game is scheduled to release on May 3rd. The PvE campaign is a series of chapters that can be played either solo or in co-op mode. Each chapter has its own story and its own set of bosses with unique mechanics. The voice acting is done decently, but sometimes the dialogue feels like it's trying too hard to be funny when it really isn't. Some characters are also very ineffective when playing the campaign solo, and it seems like the mob's health scales up a bit in co-op, but even playing as a duo, some characters just feel pretty useless. You always start off in PvE at level 1 just like you do in PvP, and you have to level up the character to unlock your skills. And you have to gather crystal shard currency to buy your loadout slot items. Throughout the campaign levels, there are also items that'll give you temporary buffs to help you through it more easily, but you don't get any new gear or weapon upgrades while playing. I only got to play the first 2 chapters in Battleborn co-op, but I would have rather gone and played Borderlands co-op instead. The boss fights were fun and they were definitely the highlight, but Borderlands has a lot more depth to it and a lot more that you can do with your friends and have fun with. I like the graphic style of the game in both the PvP and the PvE. But when fighting, there were sometimes too many particle effects happening at once, and it was really hard to see exactly what was going on. I especially noticed this when I was playing as a melee character. I also think that the controls for activating abilities feel sluggish. I don't know if it's because there's a global cooldown, or if it's just because the previous animation has to finish. Either way, it's very annoying, and it makes trying to combo feel really awkward and clunky. In both PvP and PvE modes, you earn Commander XP, which is your overall player level, and it's kind of similar to the Summoner level in League of Legends. As you level up, you earn more loadout slots and you can purchase special random loot boxes with the in-game currency points. I really hate that the loot is completely random, and the fact that you're restricted from buying certain loot boxes until you reach a higher level. At least you can get some random loadout items and loot boxes from the story campaign, but still. These loadout items have stats on them, and getting lucky with these items can cause an imbalance in PvP. I would rather just buy the specific loadout items I want instead of hoping that RNG is good to me. In addition to Commander XP, there's also permanent character XP for each character that you play. These characters level up as well, and they unlock a third skill choice called a mutation. A lot of these mutations seem significantly better than some of the other options, which is fine for PvE, but again I feel it's another potential balance issue in PvP. As far as the PvE co-op goes, I'm not a huge fan of it. It feels like it's missing substance, maybe in part gear and weapon drops, or just plain character development. I don't know, but I've played Borderlands for over 30 hours and loved it, but Battleborn just leaves me feeling kind of empty after the missions. Hopefully the rest of the campaign missions will be better than the first 2, but who knows. So then there's the PvP MOBA aspect, and you start at level 1 just like in other MOBAs, and you get your skill points and ultimate as you level up. There's no items you can buy except for your loadout slot items that you have to equip pre-match. While in game, you collect crystal shards and you can spend them on the loadout items or use them to build and upgrade guns. The guns can be destroyed by the enemy and then they can be rebuilt after a short cooldown, but you have to pay the shard cost again. I like the idea of the guns, and I like that I can always have something to spend my shards on, but the guns feel so completely useless and they're often killed very easily while taking minimal or sometimes no damage. It was usually just better to wait until no one was around and just face tank and kill them. It just felt like a minor inconvenience to have to kill the guns. Another issue with the PvP is that the matchmaking doesn't seem to care that it's putting level 1s against levels 20s, 30s, and sometimes even level 50s, creating completely imbalanced matches. Not just imbalanced in the way of game experience, but in skills and items as well. I think it's completely stupid, and I really hope this issue gets addressed. Battleborn's way to address leavers from multiplayer games is just to make them wait out the rest of the match before requeuing again, or they can join the match that they were supposed to be in the first place. There's no fixed time penalty, and it doesn't seem to increase when you leave multiple times. If you dodge once you see the team levels or the character picks, you still have to wait the whole game time, which is really dumb, and the team gets screwed at the very start of the game by being a player down. I really think it should just go back into the matchmaking phase instead of trying to make that person reconnect. So far in PvP, there's 3 different modes available, but only 2 of them were available in the beta. The first mode I played was Incursion, and you're trying to destroy the enemy sentry, but the game can only last up to a certain amount of time. Having the time limit is really great because some matches can take ages, but many matches end without either team even succeeding. It just feels like a PvE turtle match with some minor PvP. I was horribly disappointed by this mode. You basically spawn the minions, kill the minions, push the minions, repeat, and maybe get some player killing if they get overextended in a wave of minions. And honestly, I shouldn't even call them minions. They're like crazy super minions, and even in the late game, they can still put out a lot of hurt. Think of it like League of Legends or Smite, spawning super minions constantly the entire game, and you're always trying to fight them and push them out. It's a really boring minion push map. The second PvP mode is Meltdown, and this mode is a lot more enjoyable for me. It's a small map with 2 lanes, and the lanes are really close together, so you can run back and forth easily and fight actual people instead of having to fight minions all day. It still has its PvE that you have to do, but at least these waves of minions aren't as strong as the crazy super ones in the other mode. This mode is much more enjoyable if you're looking for some PvP. You win by pushing the minions into the enemy's machine, and it plays similar to Smite's arena mode. Battleborn does have replay value, but it's not a game for everyone. There's a limited number of characters you can play, and many of them aren't unlocked right away. It's not that they're difficult to unlock, but it does take a little bit of work. You have to complete challenges or obtain a certain level, and for such a huge price tag that the game has, I don't understand why some characters start off locked. Overall, I'm simply not interested in what Battleborn is offering. I would rather go and play Smite if I feel like a non-isometric MOBA, or just play Borderlands for PvE co-op, or Overwatch if I was looking for an FPS with cool abilities. Battleborn isn't a bad game, and it has potential to be good for the people who are more interested in PvE with a little bit of mix of PvP, but it just isn't for me, and I don't plan on buying it. I hope this review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.